Hello, everybody. Now we're going to talk about editing symbols and how you copy edit some copy for journalism. There are two great resources that are provided in our textbook and in the AP Stylebook, and I'm going to share both of those now. The first one is going to be our textbook, which provides a great comprehensive look at all different kinds of editing symbols. In fact, it gives us 35 different editing symbols for copy editing. This is probably the most comprehensive version of our editing symbols, and you can see here it really addresses a lot of different things. Abbreviate means to shorten. So if you had spelled out the word doctor, you would instead put DR period, or to use numerals. So if it's 13, then you would use the numbers 1, 3 for numerals. Boldface means that instead of it being regular type font, you would use bold. Capitalize is the 3 lines underneath the letter that needs to be uppercase. Change the letter is if you have the wrong letter in there and you just need to put a new one in. And you can also do that with changing the word. You can close up spaces between two words. If you delete an entire word and then need to close up the space, you can do that. Or you can close up the space within a word if you accidentally have a space within a word. Continues on next page would be a circle as well. Delete letter is a line with the brackets on the top and bottom, where delete phrase has the brackets on the top and bottom, and then you put a vertical line, excuse me, a horizontal line through all of that. Deleting punctuation, you're going to want to draw a line, a strikeout line on it, and then just make sure that you are indicating the deletion. And then the end of story is going to be 3 hashtags or -30 or -0 so that's a way to say that's the end of the story. Flush left means that all of the type goes to the far left of the screen, where flush right means that it goes on the far right. Ignore correction. Correct as written is just to circle your correction. You can insert an apostrophe, such as it's for it is. You would put the comma and then the backwards triangle underneath it. And then insert colon is very similar, but you just show where you're inserting it. And then insert comma, you would actually use a top face triangle with the comma. You can insert dashes, exclamation points, hyphens, and inserting letter. You would put the triangle on the bottom and the letter that needs to be inserted on top. You can insert a period by putting a period and then circling it. Insert quotation marks with the quotation marks in and then triangles underneath them. And then insert semicolon. Inserting a word, you would put the triangle on the bottom where it goes and then insert the word on the top line. Italicize is just to underline it. Lowercase is a strike through. No new paragraph, you're going to connect the paragraphs that need to be put together. Separate words, put a line between the two words that need a space between them. Spell out numbers or words, you're going to circle, so it's really the opposite of number 1, abbreviate. You can start a new paragraph with this paragraph symbol here and then drawing a line where you need the new paragraph. Transposing or flipping a letter is that little zigzag, and you're going to start it where the transposed letter starts and end it where it needs to go. And you do the same for flipping or transposing words. So we also have a shortened abbreviated version in our AP Stylebook, and these are some of the most commonly used editing marks. But as you're starting out and learning, it might be better to use the more comprehensive version that's in your textbook. But as we do our editing assignments with our peers, I want us to be using these symbols specifically so that we always know what each other are talking about. Same goes for when I'm editing your material. I'm going to be using these editing symbols as well, and that will allow you to know what edits I'm asking you to do within your copy. So I wanted to present a real-time example of how I might copy edit a story. So I took an example from one of our worksheets in our workbook, and I'm going to share it with you from my phone. So please bear with me. There's my daughter. All right, so here is an example of some AP copy that needs to be edited. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to capitalize while because it's lowercase and it needs to be uppercase. So while walking to school this morning, but we have some extra letters in morning. So I'm going to strike through those and say, close the gap. While walking to school this morning, an 11-year-old girl noticed a gunman robbing, and robbing has an extra letter in it. And so we are going to strike through robbing and delete the U. Two clerks. Clerks needs to be lowercase, so we're going to do a strike through there. In a convenience store. Now convenience is missing an I, and so I'm going to put the I right there where I need the I. Store on Colonial Drive. It's missing its period, so I'm going to put a period and circle it. So this is a good example of how to use some of the editing symbols that we just addressed. And you see how I do it in real time. So this is what your copy is going to look like once I or your peers edit it. And that will allow you to know what you need to change on future versions of the story. So this is also what we use in the industry, and that should hopefully give you a leg up when you are working with editors and other journalists, because you will know how to edit a story properly. So we'll be using this throughout the semester, and hopefully this video will give you a little bit more explanation on how to do that.